Okay, so here's a quick little tip. If you want more of that rough look and not such perfect lines, especially when you're doing a background that's a little more battled or has been in like a battle scene or a messy or action scene, if you're not confident, you're not quite confident to do everything like freehand, you can still use your straight edge and pencils and just go lightly with the pencils. And then when you do the ink version, when you go in with the final inks, freehand it with using the pencils as your guide. And you can, as you ink, see or actually feel the surface, you know, kind of pretend like you're actually inking over the imperfect surface. Maybe there are little grooves and little, you know, nicks and dents. So you will be able to achieve that a little bit better free-handed, because you kind of want that little bit of imperfection. And while using your pencil lines as guide, and the whole idea is to not like trace that pencil line, but just use it as a guide and just draw over it with your ink. So when you are drawing over those lines, maybe you can feel a little bit of the imperfection on the surface. So you can go, like I said, like maybe there are little cracks, there are little, let's see, little grooves and stuff. And just go right into those little imaginary grooves, and then that will kind of help to replicate the surface that you're going after, which is like that imperfect, dinged up, dented, industrial feel. Okay, so that's kind of a quick little tip. We can do a little bit more. Okay, I'll rotate. And curves as well. You can use your curve, your French curve, or whatever else you have as a guide. If you are not, like I said, if you're not quite confident with like just eyeballing it, if you're working on perspective as well, maybe you need that edge to kind of help with alignment. Because if it's off when you ink it, it'll be doubly off. So you can go in with your pencils first, and then when you are ready to ink it, just go freehand. That will give you more of that rough feel if that's what you're going after. If you're working on a style that's not like super clean, or that's not what you want. If you don't want like a super clean look, super clean feel, and the guide is, and if you're working with parallel lines, use the lines next to it to guide you. That way you kind of, you'll kind of like have those jaggedy lines, but you will stay parallel. They'll be equally imperfect. Oh, my paper is escaping me. But the whole idea is I mean, all this stuff, even in real life, is not perfect. So it just looks like it from a distance, just like people in people's lives. So, so I think for it to be a little more realistic, to be less sterile, you kind of have to go in and freehand a lot of stuff. It makes it more interesting too. So you can do all your little parallel. And like I said before, like all the imperfect tools are excellent for these occasions. You can do little cracks, add little cracks and little nicks and stuff. Whatever silly little spontaneous things that you feel. And I think it just kind of adds to it. So, and you can do a double, skip, whatever. Have a little fun with it. Give it a little live. But yeah, I recommend playing freehand, and like I said, you can go in with your edge, your curves, your triangles, or your whatever ruler to kind of give yourself a guide if you're not quite confident yet. But as you build your confidence, it'll be a lot more fun because it's quite liberating. And it's okay to let yourself make mistakes, because that's, just, it's not really a mistake. It's like, oh, hey, how about let's do this instead? So just happy accidents happen that way too. So you can add a little more interest to all this stuff. All right. So quick little little session. See what you can kind of like play around with and see what you get. Okay, later guys.